Happy weekend and welcome again to our 6th episode on steps to a successful construction project. The voice behind Good Mornings and Construction, as always. Last week we said one of the requirements for a successful construction project, it's supervision. We talk about supervision and we agree that today we'll be looking at what is supervision, who a supervisor is, the roles of a supervisor, and who can supervise. And remember, we are gearing towards success. We want a successful construction project. Now, in simple terms, a supervisor is simply someone who leads a group of employees. In the case of construction, like a group of technicians and manevs, he leads a group of employees to achieve a satisfactory result. That is who a supervisor is. And now, I want us to look at his roles. What are his roles? What are the roles of a supervisor to a construction project? One of the first roles is that he must have a mastery, like an understanding of the project. He must have an understanding of that project. He must be able to manage the team, what they call team management. The third point is safety management. The supervisor must make sure that every worker on site is safe, because without safety, there is accident. And once there is accident, there is a halt to a project. And at times, total cancellation of the project. So there will be no success. So safety management is part of the roles of the supervisor. You also have quality control. One of the most important aspects also to our project is the quality of materials that we buy and how we use it. Because getting a quality of material is not getting the quality of the project. So the supervisor will be there to first say okay to the quality of the material. Second, to see how the material is used now for the quality of the project. A supervisor also monitors the project. Progress monitoring. He monitors every step of the project to say, hey, look here. We are wrong here. We are right here. This is how we are supposed to go. He monitors the project at every step. And then he also documents the project. He also documents the project for future reference. And then the most important part of a supervisor is that he manages the relationship between, let's call it an organization. In this, our case now is, he will manage the relationship between the contractor and the project owner. Between the contractor, the person that has taken the project, and the person that owns the project, so that each is successful. Our episode will be longer a bit today, but it is very, very important. There are points to touch here. Each will be successful. You, the supervisor, you are managing the activities of the organization that is, or the executor, and the project owner, so that each is successful. It means you are not there to please one part. You are not there to please the project owner and discredit the contractor. The project will not go well. You are managing them so that each is successful. Now, why am I stressing on this point? The experience I've had with some of the supervisors in the field is that some of them rather act as photographers and journalists. Oh no, a supervisor is not a photographer. In what sense? That you just come to the site and you do videos and you send to the project owner without analyzing issues, or you come, you put on your camera and look at this pillar here. This thing is wrong. This thing is right. It was supposed to be like that, and you are sending to the project owner. You have not analyzed it. You are acting like a photographer and at the same time as a journalist. That is not a supervisor. Those are not the roles of a supervisor. You have to you are like a middleman. If you go to the site and you see that it is right here or it is wrong here, you hold a meeting, you discuss that. You are managing the stress of both parties, especially the stress of your employer, especially the stress of your employer who is a project owner. I think we have learned a lot also with this. Now, who can be a supervisor? Who can supervise our project? I'm going to suggest one or three persons that can supervise a project. The first person that can supervise a project is a firm, maybe a construction firm. You could go there, you give your project to them. You could also give it to the architect who drew the plan, or any architect who has a mastery or who will master the plan. Yes. And then you can also give it to a civil engineer. A civil engineer can also do the supervision of your project. Remember, I did not mention a family member. I did not say that my brother is in Limbe. My brother is in Bamenda. He can come and supervise the project. In quote, your brother can come and supervise. That is if he falls under the category of those I've listed. If he owns a construction company, if he's an engineer, he's an architect, he can be a supervisor, not just a family member. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Next week, we'll be looking at another important point in the success of our construction project, which will either be finance or communication. Whichever that God will lead us, that is what we will discuss next week. Thank you. Have a blessed weekend. Bye-bye.